Hello and welcome back to your daily dose of English, the podcast where you don't just learn English, you live with it. I'm Tom and I'm so glad you're here today. You know, this morning I woke up and looked at the calendar and I thought, wait, where did this year go? Seriously, it feels like just yesterday we were celebrating New Year's, making promises, setting goals. And now? We're already deep into the year. Time just disappears, doesn't it? And that got me thinking about something much bigger, something that goes beyond English learning, beyond grammar and vocabulary. Today, we're going to talk about something that matters in every language, in every culture, in every life. We're going to talk about how to stop wasting your life. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to be heavy or depressing. This is a conversation, a reflection, a reminder. Because the truth is, many of us go through life on autopilot. We wake up, scroll through our phones, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months. And one day we look back and ask ourselves, what did I do with all that time? So today's episode is a little different. Yes, we're learning English. Yes, you'll practice listening, shadowing and speaking, but we're also going to explore something deeper. How to live with intention, purpose and meaning. And here's the good news. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to understand a few core principles that can transform the way you see your time, your days, and your life. Before we dive in, let me tell you about something special. I've prepared a free PDF for you. It includes the full transcript of this episode, reflection questions, and practice exercises. You can use it to review the ideas we discussed today and think about how they apply to your own life. The link is in the description below. Go grab it after this episode and really take time to reflect. And here's something else. At the end of today's episode, I'll break down some important vocabulary words from this conversation. Words like fulfillment, intention, procrastination, and momentum. These aren't just English words, they're life words. Words that describe the way we think, feel, and act every single day. All right, my friend. Before we begin, I want you to do something with me. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you can, just for a moment. Breathe in. Hold it. Now breathe out. Good. Now let's begin. Let me ask you a question. Why do you get up in the morning? I don't mean the alarm clock. I don't mean work or school. I mean really, why? What drives you? What makes you feel alive? Many people go through life without asking this question. They just exist. They follow routines. They do what everyone else does. But deep down, they feel empty. Like they're running on a treadmill, moving but going nowhere. This is what happens when we live without purpose. Now let me explain this word. Purpose means the reason you do something. It's your why. It's the thing that gives your actions meaning. Without purpose, life feels random, boring, or pointless. But with purpose, even small actions feel important. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people. Both of them wake up at 6 a.m. Both of them go to work. Both of them come home tired. On the surface, their lives look the same. But inside, they're completely different. The first person doesn't know why they're working. They just do it because they have to. They count the hours, they wait for the weekend, they feel stuck. The second person has a purpose. Maybe they're working to support their family. Maybe they're saving money to travel. Maybe they're learning skills to start their own business one day. They're tired, yes, but they're also fulfilled because their work has meaning. Do you see the difference? Purpose is like a compass. It doesn't tell you every step to take, but it shows you the direction. And when you have direction, even the hard days feel worth it. So what's your purpose? Maybe it's to learn English so you can study abroad. Maybe it's to provide a better life for your children. Maybe it's to become the best version of yourself. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be yours. Here's the key. When you know your purpose, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start protecting your energy for the things that do. Let me say that again clearly. When you know your purpose, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start protecting your energy for the things that do. When you know your purpose, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You start protecting your energy for the things that do. Now you repeat. Let me tell you something that changed my life. Time is the only thing you can never get back. Think about it. If you lose money, you can earn it again. If you lose a job, you can find another one. If you break your phone, you can buy a new one. But if you lose time, it's gone. Forever. Last week I wasted an entire afternoon. I sat down to check one email, just one, and then I saw a notification. I clicked on a video, then another video. Then I started scrolling through comments. Before I knew it, 3 hours had passed. 3 hours of my life gone. I can never get those hours back. Now, 3 hours might not sound like much, but think about it this way. 3 hours a day equals 21 hours a week. That's almost a full day every single week. In 1 year, that's 52 full days. Almost 2 months of your life wasted on things that didn't matter. This is why we need to treat time like treasure. Every minute is precious. Every hour is valuable. And every choice we make is a time choice. When you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So ask yourself, what are you saying yes to? Scrolling? Watching random videos? Or learning, growing, building, creating? Let me be clear, rest is important. Relaxation is important. But there's a difference between resting and wasting. Resting gives you energy. Wasting drains you. When you understand this, everything changes. You start protecting your time. You start choosing carefully. You start living intentionally. Here's a simple truth to remember. Every hour you spend today is an hour you'll never have again. Every hour you spend today is an hour you'll never have again. Now you repeat. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, I decided to clean my room. Simple task, right? Should take 30 minutes. But first I thought, let me just check the weather. So I opened my phone, then I saw a text message. I replied, then I saw a notification from YouTube. I clicked on a video. The video was 10 minutes long, but it led to another video. And another. 2 hours later, my room was still messy, and I felt terrible. This is procrastination. It's when we delay doing something important because we're distracted by something easy, fun, or mindless. Procrastination is like a leak in a water tank. Imagine you have a big tank of water. You need that water to live. But there's a tiny hole in the bottom. Every day, A little bit of water drips out. At first you don't notice. The tank looks full. But over time the drips add up. One day you look down and the tank is empty. And you wonder, where did all the water go? That's what procrastination does to your life. Small distractions don't seem like much. Checking your phone for 2 minutes, watching one more episode, scrolling for just 5 minutes. But those minutes add up. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. And one day, you realize years have passed and you haven't done the things you truly wanted to do. So what can we do? We need to recognize distractions and protect ourselves from them. Here's what I do. When I need to focus, I put my phone in another room. I close unnecessary tabs on my computer. I set a timer. I tell myself, for the next 30 minutes, I will do only this one thing. And you know what? It works. Those 30 minutes become the most productive part of my day. You can do the same. Before you start your day, ask yourself, what's the most important thing I need to do today? Then protect time for that thing. Don't let distractions steal it from you. Remember this sentence. Small distractions today can steal big dreams tomorrow. Small distractions today can steal big dreams tomorrow. Now you repeat. Okay, let's talk about intention. This is one of the most powerful words you'll ever learn. Intention means doing something on purpose, with a clear reason. It's the opposite of doing things randomly or automatically. Most people live on autopilot. They wake up and do whatever feels easy. They react to notifications, emails, and other people's demands. They let the day control them instead of controlling the day. But when you live with intention, you take back control. You decide what matters. You plan your time. You choose your actions carefully. Let me give you an example. 2 people want to get in shape. The first person says, I should exercise more. But they don't make a plan. Some days they work out. Most days they don't. After a month, nothing has changed. The second person says, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m, I will go for a 30-minute run. They write it down. They set a reminder. They prepare their clothes the night before. And guess what? They do it because they have intention. Intention is like a GPS. Without it, you're just driving in circles. With it, you know exactly where you're going and how to get there. So how do you live with intention? It's simple. At the start of each day, ask yourself, what are my priorities today? What really matters? Then protect time for those things. Don't let distractions or other people or random tasks steal your focus. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. Even small intentional actions lead to big results over time. Here's a powerful reminder for you. When you live with intention, every day moves you closer to your goals. When you live with intention, every day moves you closer to your goals. Now you repeat. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you learned something new? Think about it. A new skill, a new word, a new way of thinking. When was the last time you challenged yourself to grow? Many people stop learning after they finish school. They get comfortable. They do the same things every day. And slowly, without realizing it, their life becomes stale. That means boring, unchanging, lifeless, like water that's been sitting still for too long. But here's the truth. Growth is life. When you stop growing, you stop living. You might still be breathing, working, eating, but deep down, you're not really alive. You're just existing. Growth doesn't have to be big or dramatic. You don't need to climb a mountain or start a business, though you can if you want. Growth can be small. Reading one page of a book, learning one new English word, cooking a new recipe, having a deep conversation with a friend. The key is this: every day, do something that makes you better than you were yesterday. Even if it's tiny, even if no one else notices, you'll notice. And over time, those small steps add up to something incredible. Think of it like planting seeds. You plant one seed today, you water it, you take care of it. At first, you don't see anything, but after days, weeks, months, a plant grows. Then a tree, then fruit. And all of it started with one small seed. That's what daily growth does. One word today, one lesson today, one step today. And before you know it, you've built something amazing. So don't stop learning. Don't stop growing. Because every day you learn something new is a day you didn't waste. Let me say this clearly for you. When you stop growing, life becomes stale and empty inside. When you stop growing, life becomes stale and empty inside. Now you repeat. Here's something I've learned over the years. The happiest moments in life are never about things. They're about people. Think about your best memories. Are they about buying a new phone? Probably not. Are they about laughing with a friend, spending time with family, sharing a meal with someone you love? Yes, that's where happiness lives. We live in a world that tells us to buy more, own more, achieve more. But things don't make us happy. Things break. Things fade. Things get old and boring. But relationships last. Love lasts. Connection lasts. When you're old and looking back on your life, you won't remember the car you drove or the clothes you wore. You'll remember the people who made you feel alive. So here's my advice. Invest in people. Call your parents. Spend time with your friends. Hug your children. Have real conversations. Be present. Put down your phone. Look people in the eyes. Listen to their stories. Because at the end of your life, the only thing that truly matters is love. Did you love well? Did you make people feel seen, heard, and valued? That's the measure of a life well lived. Things are temporary, but love is forever in our hearts. Things are temporary, but love is forever in our hearts. Now you repeat. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The best parts of life come from the hardest parts. Think about it. When you watch a movie, what makes it interesting? The conflict, the struggle, the hero facing a difficult challenge and fighting to overcome it. Without conflict, the movie would be boring. You'd turn it off. Life is the same. The challenges you face, the hard times, the failures, the obstacles, those are the things that shape you. They make you stronger. They teach you lessons. They give your life meaning. I know it doesn't feel that way in the moment. When you're struggling, it hurts. It's frustrating. You want it to end. But later, when you look back, you realise that struggle made me who I am today. Let me give you a personal example. A few years ago, I was terrified of public speaking. My heart would race, my hands would shake. I'd forget everything I wanted to say. It was painful, but I kept practicing. I kept pushing myself. And now I'm here talking to you, teaching thousands of people. That fear I once had became my strength. So don't run from challenges. Embrace them. That means accept them, welcome them, face them with courage, because every challenge you overcome makes you better, braver, and wiser. Remember this truth in your heart and mind. Challenges are not meant to break you down completely. Challenges are not meant to break you down completely. Now you repeat. Here's the biggest lie we tell ourselves. I'll do it someday. Someday I'll start learning English seriously. Someday I'll travel. Someday I'll follow my dream. Someday I'll spend more time with my family. But here's the truth. Someday never comes. Someday is just another word for never. Life doesn't wait for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There's only now. This moment, this day, this hour. So if there's something you want to do, start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Today. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to be ready. You just need to take one small step, one action, one choice. Because action creates momentum. Momentum means movement, energy, progress. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. Let me give you an example. Maybe you want to improve your English. Don't wait until you have 3 hours of free time. Start with 10 minutes today. Listen to one podcast, read one paragraph, speak one sentence out loud. That's enough. Because that small step will lead to another step. And another. And before you know it, you've built a habit. The people who achieve great things aren't the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who started. They took messy action. They made mistakes. They learned. They kept going. So stop waiting for someday. Someday is today, right now. This moment. One small step today is worth more than perfect planning. One small step today is worth more than perfect planning. Now you repeat. All right, my friend, let's pause for a moment and bring everything together. We've talked about purpose, time, intention, growth, people, challenges, and action. But at the heart of all of this is one simple truth. Don't waste your life. You have one life, one chance. Every day that passes is a day you'll never get back. So don't spend it scrolling mindlessly. Don't spend it worrying about things that don't matter. Don't spend it waiting for someday. Live with purpose. Protect your time. Grow every day. Love deeply. Face challenges with courage. And start now. Because your life is happening right now. Not tomorrow. Not next year. Now. So ask yourself, what do I really want? What matters most to me? And what small step can I take today to move toward that? You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to be intentional. Be present. Be alive. Your life is valuable, precious, and full of possibilities. Your life is valuable, precious, and full of possibilities. Now you repeat. All right, now let's take a few minutes to break down some important vocabulary from today's conversation. These aren't just English words, they're words that describe how we think, feel, and live. So listen carefully, repeat with me, and try to use these words in your own sentences. 1. Fulfillment. Fulfillment means a feeling of satisfaction and happiness because you're doing something meaningful. It's when your life feels complete, like you're living the way you were meant to live. For example, she found fulfillment in teaching children. She found fulfillment in teaching children. Now you repeat. 2. Fleeting. Fleeting means lasting for only a short time. It describes something that passes quickly, like a moment, a feeling or an opportunity. For example, happiness from shopping is often fleeting and temporary. Happiness from shopping is often fleeting and temporary. Now you repeat. 3. Procrastination. Procrastination means delaying or postponing something you should do, usually because it's difficult or boring. It's when you put things off until later, and later never comes. For example, procrastination is the thief of time and dreams. Procrastination is the thief of time and dreams. Now you repeat. 4. Distractions. Distractions are things that take your attention away from what you're supposed to be doing. They can be your phone, social media, TV, or anything else that pulls your focus. For example, I turned off all distractions to focus on work. I turned off all distractions to focus on work. Now you repeat. 5. Intention. Intention means doing something on purpose with a clear goal or reason. It's the opposite of doing things randomly or without thinking. For example, he studied English every day with clear intention. He studied English every day with clear intention. Now you repeat. 6. Embrace. Embrace means to accept something fully and positively, especially something difficult. It can also mean to hug someone, but in this context, it means to welcome challenges or changes. For example, she decided to embrace the challenge and grow. She decided to embrace the challenge and grow. Now you repeat. 7. Momentum. Momentum means the strength or energy that keeps something moving forward. Once you start something, momentum helps you keep going. For example, taking the first step gave him momentum to continue. Taking the first step gave him momentum to continue. Now you repeat. 8. Conflict. Conflict means a problem, struggle, or disagreement. In stories, conflict is what makes things interesting. In life, conflict helps us grow. For example, every good story needs conflict to be interesting. Every good story needs conflict to be interesting. Now you repeat. 9. Reflection. Reflection means thinking deeply about something, especially your own actions, thoughts, or experiences. It's like looking in a mirror, but for your mind. For example, daily reflection helps you learn from your mistakes. Daily reflection helps you learn from your mistakes. Now you repeat. 10. Existence. Existence means the state of being alive or present, but it can also mean living without real purpose or meaning, just surviving, not thriving. For example, many people live in mere existence, not true life. Many people live in mere existence, not true life. Now you repeat. 11. Stale. Stale means something that is no longer fresh, interesting, or exciting. It can describe food, air, or even life, when things feel boring and unchanging. For example, without growth, your life can become stale and empty. Without growth, your life can become stale and empty. Now you repeat. All right, my friend, we've come to the end of today's episode, but this isn't really an ending. It's a beginning. Today we talked about how to stop wasting your life. We explored purpose, time, intention, growth, relationships, challenges, and action. These aren't just ideas, they're tools. Tools you can use every single day to live a life that matters. I want you to remember this. Your life is valuable. Every moment is precious. Every choice is important. And every day is a chance to start fresh, to grow, to become better. So here's what I want you to do after this episode. First, download the free PDF in the description. It has the full transcript, reflection questions, and practice exercises. Take time to think about the questions. Write down your answers. Be honest with yourself. Second, choose one small action you can take today. Just one. Maybe it's putting your phone away for 30 minutes. Maybe it's calling someone you love. Maybe it's practicing English for 10 minutes. Whatever it is, do it. Because small actions lead to big changes. And finally, keep learning. Keep growing. Keep showing up. Because every day you choose to improve yourself is a day you didn't waste. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for wanting to grow. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. And I can't wait to see where your journey takes you. This is English Unleashed, and I'm Tom. Keep listening, keep learning, and most importantly, keep living with purpose, love, and intention. Until next time, my friend, take care. Bye for now.